Hello guys! All good makeup begins with good skincare, so I'm going to begin by cleansing my skin with facial cleansing gel to remove any trace of dirt, oil, or makeup, followed by the Ayurvedic Tamarind Chocolate Herbal Masque by Hylunia to improve circulation, and it's great for your pore size. You only need about a tablespoon's worth. I'm using a normal synthetic brush here, but I find that silicone brushes are a great choice too because they're really easy to keep clean. You just have to wash them off with running soap and water and then dry them off. So I like to paint this mask all over my entire face, and I let it sit for 10 minutes. Well, I did this when I had a hair mask sitting in as well, so it all worked out great. And when it's time to take it off, you just want to use a cool, damp rag and swipe that all over your face to remove any trace of the mask. And then I like to tone with the Colloidal Silver Mist, also by Hylunia. It's great for inflammation. And then I like to finish with the Hyaluronic Moisturizer, the oil-free one. I've had this so long that the label has literally worn off. So I like to apply 2 pumps of this into my hand and then all over the face, and I like to go over it with a cold facial roller. This is gua sha. It just moves the healthy blood circulation around in your face. So this type of facial massage is awesome. As soon as that is dry, I move right into the makeup. This is a dampened beauty blender sponge. It's my favorite way to apply my Lancôme foundation. So I do 2 pumps of that, and I just like to spread it out wherever I want to see the highest concentration. And then I go in and really pat it in everywhere. You cannot do this too much. The damp sponge just really helps to blend everything into your skin, especially if you're using Hylunia products because they hold water to your skin really, really well. So the damp beauty sponge in conjunction with my skincare is my absolute favorite way to apply my foundation. Next, I go in with my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in shade Fair Beige because I am the color of paper. And I just like to spread this under my eyes, down my nose, on my forehead, and on my chin because it sort of brings light into the center of my face. There's a yellow background to this. Even though I have pink in my skin, it helps cancel some of the darkness out of my skin. And I bring that on top of my eyelids as well just because it serves as a healthy base for any eyeshadow I'm going to do. And then I just ponce that into my foundation until it is totally seamless. What you could do, but what I didn't do, is prime your skin using either the Urban Decay Optical Illusion Complexion Primer or the Milk Makeup Blur Stick. I knew I was going to be taking mine off, so I didn't really worry about it. Now I'm going to show you how to cover blemishes really easily. I have stress breakouts. Thanks COVID. Tap a little bit of concealer on top of any spots for maximum opacity and let it sit for several minutes before you ever bother to blend it. I like to do my brows while that sits, so I'm going in with the NYX Tinted Brow Mascara in shade Chocolate and going against the grain of my natural brow hairs to get maximum coverage on my very pale blonde eyebrow hairs, so it makes them a lot easier to pencil in if I do this first. I naturally have pretty bushy brows, you just can't usually see them because my hair is so light. So once I get that on, I like to go in with the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in shade Brunette and make little teeny tiny hair-like strokes. You can see I've already done this on my one side, and now I'm going in to match it on the other. And all the while, my concealer is still sitting to get full opacity. Just leave it alone. I know it looks silly, but trust the process. So anyway, you want to make little teeny tiny hair-like strokes to fill in any gaps to create symmetry in your eyebrows. That's what I'm doing here. And then you can just sort of fine-tune the shape to give it a little bit of definition so they don't look so soft and like overly natural. It almost gives them a micro-bladed sort of edge, if you know what I mean. So I just do that until I'm satisfied with the density, starting in the middle and working outward toward the tail. Finally, time to blend away the edge of that concealer. I like to go in with a small concealer brush and pat the edges into your skin. Don't do too much stroking, you're going to wipe it away. Just pat the edges into your skin until they're less visible. I do this on one and then the other until it's like barely there. And then I like to go on top of it with my Beauty Blender sponge just to remove any trace of those edges. Gone! And now for my favorite way to set my foundation, I go in with the Savvy Minerals Foundation Powder in Cool No. 1. Some people use this on its own just as their full foundation. I love this powder to bake. By itself, I prefer a little bit more high coverage when I'm doing something like this that's a little bit more glamorous. I do sometimes wear this on its own in like a 5-minute makeup kind of capacity, which is what people love it for. But in this tutorial, I'm using it as a setting powder, which is just another fabulous way to use this product. So when using any powder to bake, you want to apply a visible layer of powder, like way too much powder. And the pressure and heat of that is going to push the makeup into your skin, and that's why it's called baking. It bakes it to your face using the heat of your skin. I always allow this to sit while I continue to apply my makeup. So moving on to the lips, I'm going to first apply Designer Blood by Jeffree Star. This is going to be the darker of the two shades that I use. I wanted something fully matte, and I love his liquid lipsticks. They're vegan, and he's just such an interesting person. So check him out if you like long-lasting matte liquid lips. So I apply this everywhere. I overdraw my top lip a little bit because my top lip is way smaller than my bottom lip, and it just gives me symmetry and a little bit more of a full effect. Once that dries, I like to go in with a slightly paler pink shade. Today I'm using Rose Madder, also by Jeffree Star, because I just love the fullness it brings out, and it gives the whole thing sort of a burgundy wine quality instead of a brick red, and I was just feeling that today. So I apply this to the center of both top and bottom because it gives the lips a three-dimensional quality. I then go back to the face and sweep away any baking powder to reveal gorgeous soft skin underneath, fully blended. For eyes today, I wanted to use the Sahara Sunset palette by Savvy Minerals, and I'm starting with Cloud 9, which is the white shade in the top left-hand corner, and I'm just going to sweep that over both eyelids. And then I'm going into Drift, which is like a mattish brown, and I'm just going to use that to add a little definition into the crease of my eyelids on both sides. I'm using a fluffy brush to apply this because it gives you a lot of flexibility and forgiveness. I take a tiny bit of Elite, which is the rusty orange, and pop that in the center area for warmth and definition also in that crease area. And when you hold it further down the stem of the brush, it's going to give you better blending. If you hold it closer to the bristles, it's going to give you like sharper edges. I then grab a little bit of shade VIP and use that to connect the inner and outer corner right in the center area. And I grab a little bit more Cloud 9 on a small brush and just do the inner corner area for a small highlight. I just dusted away any eyeshadow fallout with that same fluffy brush, and then I like to spray any water-activated like setting spray over the face because I find that it blends everything together in a way that feels much more skin-like so that nothing gets cakey, and I just run my beauty blender over everything. For blush today, I'm going to be using the Too Faced Papa Don't Peach blush because it has a little shimmer, and I like to use that to blend my cheekbone into the slight contour area created by the baking. And for liquid eyeliner, this is my ultimate favorite eyeliner pen by Tom Ford. Yes, it's expensive, but it is absolutely amazing. It's called the Eye Defining Pen, and it's dual-ended. There is a long side and a short side, and this thing literally lasts me 2 years when I buy it in Vegas. Anyway, I like to go in with the long edge, and I start just by tapping it flat against the curve of my eye, and then tap it again on the outer corner, tap it again on the inner corner, and then I just sort of connect those. This is how I always do my eyeliner unless I'm doing a wing. When I curl my eyelashes, I like to go in and hit it like 3 or 4 times and slowly move away from the eyelid as I do this because it gives it like a nice full C curl. And then, you know, it's a little uncomfortable, but I think if you have straighter lashes, it really does make a nice difference. So I try to do this anytime I'm doing something, you know, a cut above. I then go in with the Lancôme Grandoise Extreme Mascara. It's my absolute favorite mascara. It lengthens and thickens. So far, I've not found anything that does this for me and doesn't irritate my face. If you wanted to, you could totally stop here. I decided I wanted some shine for my lips, so I'm going in with I'm the Boss, also by Jeffree Star, and just blending that on top of the 2 liquid lipsticks. This will give you a little bit of liquid lipstick on the tip of this, so just like wipe it off with a Q-tip before you ruin your gloss by sticking it back in there. So this is the finished look. This is like my basic bitch glam that I do. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I think once you do your hair, it all comes together pretty nice. I'll see you soon. Bye!